Greetings, everyone. It's the Ambassador coming at you once again with a brand new video. And this will be a reaction slash retrospective on who you going to call? Ghostbusters. And for those of you who don't already know, the brand new teaser trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife has dropped today. And dang, we have gotten some doozies of teaser trailers over the last few days. We got Black Widow, we've got Wonder Woman 1984, and now we got Ghostbusters Afterlife. And I will not lie to you all, I would never do that anyway. It's beneath me. I've already watched this thing at least 2 or 3 times already, and to say I'm overly excited would be an understatement because, like I said, this is going to be a reaction to the Ghostbusters trailer, but also Ghostbusters Afterlife, but also this will be part of my 1980s pop culture series. Because I do want, you got the opportunity, might as well strike. But, oh boy. For those of you who probably remember, a few years ago, we had a Ghostbusters movie come out, and if I had my channel at that time, oh boy, yeah. But with this dude right here, Ghostbusters Afterlife, this has potential to be something really good, really entertaining, and actually keeping with the previous 2 movies that were done. And I love the fact that they have done a time jump. Obviously, this is coming out in 2020. I'm guessing this takes place in real time, everything for us in a manner of speaking. But you've got Paul Rudd, Mr. Scott Lang himself, amongst other things, obviously. Everything. I guess he's playing a science teacher or something in this little small town and everything. And you've got this family that has moved back to a grandfather's or grandparents' farm and everything. And the family comes. It's a wife. It's a mother and her. I guess there's at least 2 kids, 2 sons at least, or a son and a daughter, one of the two. But you've got this voiceover of Paul Rudd saying, we're having seismic activity in a town where there is no tectonic plates, where there is no mining, where there is no blasting, where there is no fracking going on, nothing. And there is this seismic activity going on, and you can't help but think, oh boy, something serious is about to go down here. And then you've got the reveal of one of the retro ghost traps from the original Ghostbusters movies. And I'll get into a couple of theories about who I think this family is related to, which Ghostbuster they're related to in just a minute. But you've got the kids coming across the ghost trap. You've got them coming across this, I guess, hidden basement or something where one of the Ghostbusters kept all their old gear and whatnot. You see the proton pack, and then you find in the barn and everything, it may be a bit rusty, it may be a bit dirty, but you find the Ecto-1. And you're thinking, whoa, oh, why didn't we get this 3 years ago? Why did we get that other thing instead? Why didn't we get this 3 years ago? And I will not lie. When I saw the Ecto-1, when I saw the Ghost Trap, when I saw the Proton Pack, and if I'm not mistaken, one of the kids is actually carrying or using one of the the ghost detecting mirrors, PKE meter. There we go. Got it out. But you get some good shots of the kids playing around with the equipment and everything, the PKA meter, the Ecto-1. And then you see this shot and everything where they whiz around a corner, come to a real quick stop, and one of the seats comes out, and one of the kids says, "Hey, it's got a gunner's seat." And you're like, we never saw this in the movies. Why didn't we ever see this in the movies? But If you all cannot tell, I am honestly really excited for this movie coming out. I know it's another reboot, but it's a reboot of a franchise that I honestly love. The two movies, particularly the second one, love it or hate it. The Ghostbusters movies they were always entertaining. They were always fun. The cartoon I loved. I know they had done a couple of reboots of the cartoon in the last few years, but the opportunity for us to see the team potentially come back together, minus Egon, may he rest in peace. I won't lie, is exciting. And now here's a couple of my theories and everything on one, who do I think the family is related to, and two, where are they possibly going to go with this story? Anything in particular with the inclusion of Paul Rudd. I think this is Egon's family. Because if you noticed, both of the kids, they got the dark curly hair, and one of them's got glasses. And actually, I think if the one kid is and everything, the daughter, she bears a very striking resemblance to her grandfather, Egon Spengler. Now, I could be entirely wrong. They may do a bait and switch on us. It could be that I don't know if this is Venkman's family. It could very possibly be Dan Aykroyd's character. Everything could be some relations of his family. I don't, obviously, it's not Winston Zeddemor's character, Ernie Hudson. So my guess, this is Egon's family. And if it is, that's a great through line. That's a great way to call back to link back to the original movies and just get you going. But and the other thing, and again, they may or may not do this. I think you will probably see Paul Rudd's character, him be brought on board as a Ghostbuster. I think honestly we will see the remaining Ghostbusters return. You'll see Dan Aykroyd, you'll see Bill Murray, you'll see Ernie Hudson. I think there have been reports that all three of them have returned for this movie and everything, and if that's the case, folks, we are in for one heck of a ride. And I'm ready to strap on my proton pack and get going. But that being said, and everything, kind of transitioning to the Ghostbusters movie themselves, and everything, and the impact that they had, and everything. In particular, if I recall correctly, both of them were released in the 1980s. If I'm off on the second one, okay, I'll own up to that. But I know for a fact or anything, the original Ghostbusters came out in '84. And I didn't honestly get to see this in theaters. I was too young and everything. But I remember seeing it on TV, watching it on VHS and everything. And Ghostbusters for me was always funny. The first time I ever got to watch it, I had seen that clip. I don't know how many times of Bill Murray, Peter Venkman laying on the hallway floor saying, "He slimed me. I feel so funky." And I'm like, so that's what that scene's about. He actually gets slimed by a ghost. And I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. And the great thing about Ghostbusters is it had comedic elements to it, obviously, but it also had some serious bits to it, and it had the supernatural aspect, and it was just a great, fun movie. I don't know how many times I've watched it. Oddly enough, I do not own it on Blu-ray. I'm going to have to fix that. Don't worry, I will fix that. But I just think the fact that you've got this property that has aged, but still has remained fairly relevant, minus the major misstep that was made back in 2016 with the other Ghostbusters movie. And I won't go into it here. A lot of the people have, and it's way past caring at this point. I honestly, the Ghostbusters movies 1 and 2, they're a great time. They're a fun ride. They're funny. They'll scare you some, but they'll make you laugh just as much. And I will say one other character and everything that I absolutely love in these movies and everything is Tully, um, Rick Moranis' character. If I'm Louis Tully, that's his name. I'm almost certain. Let's tell me he lives on Central Park West. Yeah. Sorry, going through Annie Potts's Janine Melnitz's character and everything when Rick Moranis comes to the station. But what can you say about the Ghostbusters movie that hasn't already been said? They're funny, they're entertaining, they're a bit frightening, and they have some very quotable lines. Everything, and they have some very memorable characters. And I think honestly, while the main guys, the four Ghostbusters, they have their moments. The side antagonist Walter Peck, he has his moments too. Particularly there, and y'all probably know where I'm going with this and everything. The scene there where they're in the mayor's office and everything, and Peck says they caused an explosion, and Dan Aykroyd's character says the only reason we had an explosion is because, and please forgive me here, if I quote, I want to quote accurately. The reason we had an explosion is because of Dickless over here. And the mayor says, "Is this true?" And Venkman chimes in, "Yes, it's true. This man has no." Hey, a few minutes later, you see Peck being hauled out of the mayor's office, and the mayor looks at the Ghostbusters and says, "Okay, let's get down to business. What do you need from me?" And they call out the National Guard, they call out the police and everything else under the sun to get them to the building and everything where Sigourney Weaver and Rick Moranis' characters are at. And you have that moment and everything where Gozer finally comes out of the little temple thing and says, "Are you a god?" And not Rick Moranis, Dan Aykroyd says very innocently, "No, no, we're not." Okay, I know he says no, no, we're not. He just says no, and Gozer's like, "Then die." The Emperor from Return of the Jedi. But guys, I know this was just a teaser trailer, and I know this is kind of a shorter video, but as I said, what can you say about Ghostbusters that has not been said already? If you have never watched it, what are you waiting for? Go get a copy. Or see if it's on Amazon Prime or whatever. See if it's on Netflix by some strange miracle. Go get a copy. Go see it. Go watch it, for heaven's sake. See if they're having a special showing somewhere at the theater. But go see Ghostbusters. Get yourself ready for next year with Afterlife. It's not that hard. But yeah, guys, that's all I've got for you on this and everything. Like I said, I wanted to talk about the Afterlife trailer, and I wanted to talk about the originals a little bit and everything, in particular the first one and everything. Because, like I said, I'm not 100% sure if Ghostbusters 2 came out in the 80s or if it was a 90s film. So I want to save that for the 90s movies when I get around to them. So, if you're brand new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and everything, consider giving it a like and sharing it with your friends by all means. For those of you who are subscribers, regular subscribers, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it as always. And you can follow me on Twitter at Rogue5778. And until next time, my friends, this is the Ambassador, signing off.